No, Pika, you have to stop drinking right from the Bossa Orange Tonic. I mean, you can't do that anymore. I don't want your backlash. Hi! Welcome back. Once again, it's time for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been serving my coffee table ever since and has been a constant source of comic book shop style conversations. That the kind that I wish to recreate here today with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Golden Age of DC Comics runs from 1938 until 1955. The Silver Age from 1956 until 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby myself, from 1970 to about 1985, and from 1985 onwards, it's known as the Copper Age. And I get these definitions from the glossary of the most current Overstreet comic book price guide, which I feel is a very fair and very fair standard to have such conversations about. Yeah, such as they say the Copper Age ends in 1993, and we've been in some catch-all nebulous modern age since 1993 for 30 years now almost. Nah, I don't accept that. I think there's more room for conversation there. I'd like to be part of that. Wow, I'm also putting books under your noses. May I also suggest Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art by Scott McCloud, which is a crash course in art history, and it's about appreciating sequential art. It's about appreciating the art itself. Also, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way by Stan Lee and John Buscema. This shows amazing parts perspective. Come on. You know a bad drawing when you see one. Like dynamic figures and action and like follow through. I mean, this is good stuff. And also, this is a 2004 Abrams publication. It's written and curated by Les Daniels, Chip Kidd, and Geoff Spear. You can find the links to all of these books in the description to their Amazon pages where you can get your own copies, especially this one here. I'm giving this book a second life. I've had this, literally, this is my book. I've had it for ages. I thought this would make excellent comic book content. We're literally talking about comic books every day. We're using this book for its intended purpose. We're going to open up to today's date, October the 9th. We're going to look at some art from an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books, you guessed it, every day for the rest of the year. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of this. You are the most important part of this show. Keep those comments coming. It's great to be able to have a daily conversation about comic books. And isn't it wonderful? If you love comic books as much as I do, you are in the right place at the right time. So let's get to it. I hope you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. Over and out. And talk about clobbering. We're walking right into a punch here. It is a story by Gardner Fox, art by Bernard Bailey from Adventure Comics, number 60, March of 1941. The United States has not yet entered World War II. Indeed. Let's look. It is presenting TikTok Tyler, the man of the hour, as the Hour Man, with The Minutemen of America by Bernard Bailey. To his employer, the famed Hour Man is merely Rex Tyler, a chemist. But to evildoers, he is the man they most fear. And now, with his Minutemen of America, the Hour Man has become doubly dangerous. Dun dun dun! It's Hour Man! Yes. Let's read the blurb, and then let's get to it. If Hour Man is fighting mad, it's because he's up against a gang of crooks who aren't only attacking him, but have also targeted his gang of kid assistants. The Minutemen of America. The evil plan involves recruiting juvenile delinquents to impersonate the Minutemen and thus tarnish their reputations. Sounds like social media and bots and, and false flagging. I mean, really? I mean, this stuff is eternal, huh? Wow. Of course it doesn't work. After 11 more issues, the chief of the Minutemen, Jimmy Martin, would slip into a costume and become a more conventional kid assistant. At the time, our man stopped popping pills and started getting his dose of energy-enhancing Miraclo through a miracle ray instead. It must not have worked well since he was out of comics within a year. Because literally, this was one of the first pill-popping humans to get super strength from a pill, a chemical agent, a stimulant. It gave him he did not have the ability to fly, yet he had super strength, super let's see, yeah, whatever his powers, powers and abilities. There were two Hour Men as well. Okay, so you have Rex Tyler, TikTok Tyler, who was the chemist, the first Hour Man, and there's also Rex's son, Rick, who took over the Hour Man mantle during the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Rick swallowed some of his dad's Miraclo pills in order to help him save people trapped in a burning hospital, and he served for a few years as a member of Infinity Incorporated. There's also a Matthew Tyler of the 853rd Century. He was one of my favorite Hour Men as well. But let's see. But neither Rex nor Rick have any innate powers. It was once theorized that their powers derived from a metagene, like many DC superheroes. Yeah, the metagene, that was, that stuck, right? Any superhuman abilities, and guess what? You know where I'm reading this from, right? The wiki! That's right. Any superhuman abilities they display are derived from the use of Miraclo. Taking Miraclo grants a user several abilities for the span of an hour. 1 hour. Most obvious are the superhuman strength, durability, increased resistance to physical damage, to the extent of being impervious to small arms fire, and speed enhancements. Other lesser known and mentioned powers include night vision and the ability to survive underwater. Rex and Rick both took Miraclo in their pill form, but Rick later changed to using a transdermal patch. Wow. And but yeah, so this was about getting an advantage through taking some kind of medicine. I mean, there's a precursor to steroids and performance enhancing drugs. Miraclo is definitely a performance enhancing drug. That the Rick and Rex's only advantage that they have resides in the ability to pop a pill. And it's probably been weaponized a few different times too within the story. I just wanted to wrap this up. We're talking about Hour Man, but in the 853rd century we meet Matthew Tyler, an android that was modeled on Rex Tyler's DNA, and he was the Hour Man of the 853rd century. This is DC 1 million. This is a really interesting publishing conceit from 1999, written by Grant Morrison, who at the time was just everything he touched was gold, especially with superheroes, both DC and Marvel. Just the guy knows his golden and silver age and his bronze age. He's a comic book historian and can really write really good stories. He has a lot of strikeouts, as I like to say. Sluggers who get high on base percentages. This is a baseball metaphor. They usually strike out more because they're swinging at the ball. So Grant has a lot of strikeouts, yet he's got a lot of base hits, a lot of them. And he's got a magnificent on-base percentage. So this was to say that if DC had been publishing comic books up to its 1 millionth issue from issue number 1, probably, I think it was Action Comics 1 in 1938, that the DC's 1 millionth issue would be published in the 853rd century. And so every title, and every title, it was title-wide, a title-wide event, that every title had a 1 million issue. And it was kind of like a what if. that what if this hero existed in some form and in the 853rd century. This is their issue 1 million. So, I mean, even Hitman had an issue 1 million. That was fun. And that was Hitman by Garth Ennis. And that was a really dark humor with a D-lister. Alrighty, yeah, let's wrap this up. Yeah, we've been talking about Our Man, and he does not need an hour to talk about Our Man, but I just think it's really interesting that you literally have a hero who's taking PEDs and performance-enhancing drugs, which are banned and rightfully so in our sports. And but if it came down to something such as costumed adventuring and superheroing, I mean, is it permissible? Is there a moral conundrum there? Please leave your answer in the comments. What do you think about the ethics and morality of taking Miraclo? Now, in some instances, it's addictive. It was physically addictive. It's definitely psychologically addictive. It makes your power fantasies become reality. And in a day that we take pills for everything, I mean, pills in 1940 were only about 30 to 40 years old. I mean, the pill is probably one of the biggest, most remarkable, indelible inventions of the 20th century, specifically antibiotics. So now you have the pill as a vessel for different medicines. And now, this is 1940, I mean, Rex Tyler's first appearance was in Adventure Comics 48 in March of 1940. And so here you are. And is there any morality issues? Is it because he's a good guy that he can do this? Do you see that any parallels with Captain America? What if a bad guy were to take Miraclo? What if this fell into the wrong hands? And leave your comments in the comment section. I would love to continue this comic book shop style conversation. We will continue this conversation. Thank you so very much. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. Hopefully you've caught me on Wes's Thinking Critical Saturday panels. I'm blessed and honored to be on that show. I'm just place at the table. Thank you so much, Wes. Mention Doc. Say Doc was right. You'll get 50% off your next bowl of soup. I'm known as the Sultan of Soup. I make cooking videos. I got a playlist called What's Cooking. Check that out too. I talk about spirituality, purpose, and gratitude. That's got its own playlist. And all this month, I'm doing the 31 days of October, the 31 days of Halloween, rather. I'm going to do a different horror movie every day. So I'm doing a daily double dose of content. I'm talking about comic books every day, and I'm talking about horror movies every day during October, leading up to Halloween. Thank you so very much for tuning in. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And may the force be with you. Yeah. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Cheers. Bye-bye.